minutes.
Wait, are you for real?
Yeah, we're live. You're first. We're ready to go. Yeah. Not much. We've been talking a little bit. Well, that clock's a minute off. The big one in the back is the one we look at. Today what we're doing is, if you watched Monday's class, then you know that today is our final informational speeches.
Right.
And so we're going in the same order that we did the practice ones. And so what that does is puts you up first. However, if there's somebody else who wants to go and is ready to go, Caitlin, you ready to go?
That'd be great.
All right, bring Caitlin on up here.
Oh my gosh, Caitlin, you're a
And
lifesaver.
we'll turn her loose.
Jesus has blessed you.
I left my visual in my car, so I possibly use an image off of the iPad.
You brought an iPad? Sure, put it over here.
I had a 3D model of the heart, but I totally left it in my car. I was in a hurry with traffic. So you ready? Open. There we go.
That's your graph.
Yeah, I was at the CDC website and I mentioned
Okay,
that. So
well, let's see if we can we try our desk camera here and see if we can get a good look at it? Should be all right. This one, there you go. Okay, so we'll zoom out just a little bit. So when you get to that point, say, can we see the graph?
Okay,
And then he'll flip to it.
gotcha.
And this is, your iPad's not going to go to sleep or anything?
It's
Turn
on
off?
Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
It should not turn off. I'm sorry, it was very last minute.
Okay, and this mic is hot and we're ready to go? Okay, looks like it.
I think I'm prepared.
All right, Caitlin, you're on.
All right. Good afternoon to my fellow peers. 74% of the average Americans are either overweight or obese, according to the official CDC website. Graph, please. As you can see. Now, this means that 74% of Americans are more than likely to deal with a variety of health issues, ranging from heart diseases, type 2 diabetes, or even some cancers. Well, who's most likely to blame for this? That would be the fast food industry. Today, I'll be speaking about the impact of the fast food industry and maybe some even healthier fast food options that people may want to consider. With convenience food and weight issues growing in popularity, it's no wonder why this is a relevant topic that should be spoken about. I established my credibility to speak on this topic as I've done extensive hours of research. By the end of the speech, I hope you understand the long and short-term effects of fast food on the human body, how they do it, how they keep us coming back, and how to, and how some better fast food options. For my first point, I'm going to speak about the long and short-term effects of fast food. Well, we'll start with the short term. So say you got your greasy burger, salty fries, nuggets after a long, hard day, right? Well, you take a bite, first 4 things are going to rise. Your blood sugar, your blood pressure, increased inflammation in your body, and your chance of food activity for low nutrient items, reducing the want for real food. Now, those other 3 things that I mentioned, your blood sugar, that's going to leave you groggy and kind of tired feeling later. Your blood pressure is going to rise, which is a no-go for your blood vessels. And for individuals with asthma, increased inflammation is really dangerous. Now, let's kick off into the long-term effects. Real research evidence proves that even just eating out unhealthily 1 to 2 times a week can lead to detrimental damage to your body. Now, we all know we have an increased risk of heart diseases and obesity and even kidney diseases. But what we really don't talk about is the mental effects, such as Alzheimer's or depression and anxiety. This information is all sourced from the Medical News Today website, written by MD Geraldine Jones, medical doctor. I now come to the second point of my speech, which is how do they do it? How do they keep us coming back even if we know it's bad for us? I reference to Shane Komar, a licensed and registered dietitian who discusses this on the Piedmont Healthcare website. She just asserts that preservatives is what mainly is in the food that we eat, that we put into our mouths. And preservatives are known to cue the brain to continue to overeat and overeat due to the little to no nutritional value. But what they also do is they signal the hormone dopamine in our brain, the pleasure and happy hormone, that makes us happy. Everybody wants it. So it keeps us coming back for more and more, almost like a drug addiction. Now you may be thinking, well, surely we have so many options. There has to be something healthy, right? You would be correct, which brings me to my third point. I found this website called Cozy Meals, run by Alexandria Taylor. Her top 3 that's fast food healthiest places that she lists is 1, being Panera Bread, 2, Taco Bell, with the right combination, of course, and number 3, even Chick-fil-A. She goes on to list a few more, but a personal favorite of mine would have to be Panda Express or Chipotle. Now, this just goes to show that not all fast food places are detrimental to your health. Just pick the right one, nutrition and taste-wise. I inform about this topic as it impacts everyone, your family, your friends, and the strangers you're bound to meet. The impact of fast food industry has multiple issues with multiple chronic issues concerning health, addictivity, but maybe even some healthier fast food places that we might not even be aware of. As American philosopher Ralph and Myrtle Walson once said, health is wealth. Now, any questions? No? Thank you for listening and keep being informed.
Okay, very good. Now, hold on a second. So, a couple things. This was good, very good. You have good volume up there. I can see your hands just above the podium, so I can see you're moving them around a little bit. I like that you had a visual, but you didn't really address it. You just sort of put it up there, and we had to listen to you while we're looking at the visual. And this is how you start learning to use visuals. So when you put something up there, address it.
Okay.
As you can see, blah, blah, blah. That leads me to my next point, and then we cut back to you, and then you're off and running. Because if our director doesn't know, what to do, then you're going to either get you or the document or a split screen or something. So if you do put a visual up there, address it. I thought, aside from that, you established your credibility, very good setup. I liked how you introduced each topic. I liked the sources that you used. I think you still are talking a little too fast, and you're excited, you know your subject matter, you're getting through it just fine, but you're racing through it. And so let's slow down just a little bit. I like how you brought in the personal. You talked, you weren't saying that you didn't eat fast food, but maybe we could make better choices. So I thought that was good. I like that you used health is wealth as a quote at the end. And what I also liked about that is you didn't read it, you looked up at us and said the quote. When you say any questions, give us just a little more time.
Okay.
You said, any questions? Thank you. So Carolyn wasn't even fast enough to get up there and answer a question, all right? Usually she's right in there.
And I was like looking for her hand.
You're the
It's
quick
like, oh,
questioner,
no.
always. You're
Well, I'm feeling a little embarrassed.
well, don't.
I'm trying to keep.
You keep your calm? Okay, well, deep breaths. You'll be fine.
Yeah, my
You'll be
blood
fine.
sugar is a little spiked right now.
Okay. Well, so aside from that, I like the way that you bring humor in. So you have a conversational style, which is good. You're smiling, which is good. You bring in the personal, which is good, but you're just racing through it. So let's maybe not include so much information and slow down a little bit for emphasis. Okay? Aside from that, I thought it was really good. So let's give her a hand. Good job, Kate.
Thank you.
Aiden, I think you're ready to go, right? We can give Carol a little more time to get her thought. You're ready?
No.
You can go.
I can go. I should.
Okay, you ready? Okay, I was
First up, huh?
trying to give you enough time.
Well, no, I should have enough time with my absence on Monday, right?
It's okay.
Sure, that's what it's-
Okay, so next is Carolyn.
Oh man, a good thing that they stopped zooming. Oh, no, they zoomed it in. They zoomed it in. All right.
Okay,
Is this good or
you're good, yeah.
You think
that's
so?
fine. It'll be fine there, yeah.
you sure?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Imagine waking up feeling completely drained and feeling like you have to rely on some sort of caffeinated beverage to get you through the day. That is the problem with sleep, rather the lack of it. Today I will be talking about your physical health, your mental health, and your overall well-being on why sleep deprivation can be a problem in your day-to-day life, but also probably as our society as a whole. Many young adults underestimate the importance of sleep and why it is so important for humans to sleep at least 6 to 9 hours a night, depending on everybody's body is different, so depending on the amount of sleep, like maybe 10 hours is too much for you, but sometimes that doesn't feel enough for me, right? So it just depends. I will start with sleep and physical health. Your sleep boosts your immune system. Without sleep, your body does not get the time to rest and digest and heal your body. If you're constantly in your fight or flight mode, you're not giving your body enough time to relax and to adjust. A good amount of sleep supports heart and health by regulating your blood pressure and reducing your stress hormones. Once again, your rest and digest mode is whenever you're asleep. Chronic sleep deprivation increases risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Next, I will touch on sleep and mental health. Sleep is essential for brain function, improving memory, focus, and problem-solving skills. Lack of sleep is linked to anxiety, depression, and increased emotional instability. When we have lack of sleep, we don't give our brain enough time to rest, and without an adequate amount of rest, we are once again still in this fight or flight mode throughout our day due to not feeling relaxed or giving your body time to rest. Quality sleep helps regulate mood and enhances overall emotional resilience. Being able to have sleep will help disregard that. Excuse me. Sleep and productivity. Poor sleep leads to decreased concentration and slow reaction time. When you're feeling exhausted, you feel laggy. You're having a hard time to process what's happening. Studies show well-rested individuals perform better at work and school. Prioritizing sleep can enhance creativity, decision-making, and problem-solving. Sleep is critical for physical health, mental well-being, and productivity. The reason I feel credible to speak on this is because I had my own struggles with sleep. When I was in high school and maybe middle school, I had a tough time with some of maybe my mental health aspects, and I think that was due to lack of sleep, also according to professionals that I saw as well, saying I'm not getting an adequate amount of sleep, therefore constantly in this stress mode, or, well, we'll just talk about the lack of sleep. Not having enough sleep leads to the fight or flight mode, then you're constantly anxious, and when you're constantly anxious, you're hyper focus on different things that aren't important, and you're getting yourself kind of out of this regulation of like equilibrium of knowing when to have your fight or flight mode and your rest and digest mode. And to constantly be in a fight or flight mode due to lack of sleep is unhealthy. Ignoring sleep can have serious consequences on both short and long-term health. So tonight, instead of scrolling on your phone for an hour or two, put your phone down for 30 minutes before bed and try and relax and sleep. A little tip is to stick to a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. So maybe constantly going to bed at 10 p.m. and always trying to wake up about the same time. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
What's your sleep schedule?
My sleep schedule is I go to bed at, it's kind of late, 11 p.m., and I typically wake up about 8 a.m. But on weekends, I go to bed I try and make myself go to bed about 9 because I have to wake up at 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So.
All right, good.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I did this out of order. But my representation, I forgot to pack it today.
Your visual?
My visual is magnesium. I don't know how well the screen can see. But
It's a
magnesium
sleep
it's really not a part of my speech, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But on the bottle, let's just read it. It says, supports nerve, heart, and bone health, supports muscle relaxation. So when I take my magnesium an hour before I go to bed, I'm kind of starting into that rest and digest mode. Mm-hmm. Magnesium is super helpful and super beneficial in a lot of different ways. You can read into it and look into it if you'd like. But that's just a personal thing for me, not necessary at all.
Okay, well, what's interesting is you answered the questions, some of the questions I had at the end. So I wondered what your visual was, I wondered what your credibility was, but you brought those up at the end, so that was good. Overall, real solid. You have good posture up there. Your volume is good. You have a good instructor kind of commanding tone. I think in the future, if you do become a person who gives presentations or has to lead a team, not necessarily a sports team, but some kind of corporate team or something like that, I think you're going to do well at that because your voice does command attention.
Thank you.
Along those lines, more practice would make you smoother is one thing I wrote down here.
Yeah, I
That
seem to I'm tripping over my own words. I'm like,
if you just ran through it a couple times, I think you'd be smoother, but very well organized. And I thought that you put it together well, why we need more sleep. And I also liked your discourse markers, we call them. Next, we're going to talk about mental health. And so you did that. I like the way you use your hands with counting, 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. And then also just overall moving your hands around, that's good. We talked about on Monday the power zone, which is your torso essentially. And you want to kind of keep your hands in that range. You get too far out of whack, you look a little, like out of control. But you're doing a good job up there with that. And aside from that, I just thought it was well organized. I knew what you were talking about. I think the main critique for you is to get your visual up there a little sooner and then practice a little bit more, and that'll make you smoother.
would you prefer mentioning your credibility before going into that?
Yes, I'd put the credibility way up front.
Be like, good afternoon, you should sleep more. And
Yeah.
I'm credible.
Well, did you know that if you don't sleep, it can impact your mental health and your physical health?
Okay.
I know this because I had issues with it when I was in high school. And after looking into it and getting some assistance, I now know I need the appropriate amount of sleep every day to be able to operate mentally and physically on a high level.
Yes, sir.
And then go forward.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
all right, very good. Let's give her a hand. Yay, Carolyn. Okay, let's see who else. Well, Aiden, you're on deck, as they say in the baseball world. Good job. No, you did a good job.
Don't shame me for the Chick-fil-A.
I'm not
You got
I'm just kidding.
They have great salads.
I'm just kidding. That's what I got too. Just kidding. I love nugs, it's so good.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Aiden. Okay, you ready to go?
Yep.
You're on.
30 minutes of exercise each day can effectively improve your mood and reduce your stress. I will be discussing the value of 3 forms of physical exercise: weightlifting, cardio, and team sports. I run a lot, play pickleball, baseball, which brings me to my visual aid, my baseball glove. This is my baby. Played with it my junior and senior year of high school. It's a infield glove for third base, shortstop, second base. I also lift, not as much as I should, but I've researched effective workouts for the muscle groups back, core, chest, legs, and arms. Today I will cover the value and importance of cardio, lifting weights, and participating in recreational and competitive athletics. My first point is the value of cardio. Cardio gets your heart rate up and burns calories. You could sprint short distances or run long distances. Running can promote the production of serotonin and endorphins. Running also provides uninterrupted thinking time and can be measured and improved upon. I like the term meditation in motion, coined by Thich Nhat Hanh. Running can connect one with themselves and allow for mindfulness. Next, my second area of exercise is weightlifting. Weightlifting is easily measurable and you can always improve, setting personal records. Weightlifting also releases endorphins in the brain, supporting the happiness of an individual. According to the American Psychological Association, weightlifting can help improve your mood, enhance your quality of sleep, and increase cognitive function. My third point is on the importance of participating in team sports like basketball, pickleball, and baseball. These are a great way to get your physical activity up and to sharpen your mental ability. Interacting with teammates through teamwork and communication can develop social skills and mental toughness. The sport of basketball, baseball, or pickleball require intellect and strategy. Exercise is deeply connected to mental health. Fitness is not only about physical strength, it is linked to your mental toughness and your overall well-being. Today we've discussed how the gym helps build both physical and mental strength, how running clears the mind and improves mood, how playing team sports fosters emotional resilience and social connection. So get up every day and give yourself a new challenge. Give yourself the opportunity to be better than the day before and make forward progress into becoming the most balanced version of yourself. Thank you all for your time. Are there any questions? Caroline.
Why? So it looks like maybe baseball is your. I guess here I'll make it simple. Do you like basketball or baseball?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, I like watching basketball. I'm a big Thunder fan.
Really?
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Since I was born, I've been a Thunder
What's
fan.
your feelings about KD? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
How often do you play pickleball?
I just started, but I play like on the weekends with my cousin. There's a little court in Tulsa next to it starts with a G, like Grimes Elementary or something. But we play over there. My cousin got me into it. It's fun.
Tuesday evenings they do pickleball at the rec center.
In the DCTC?
At the
The rec center? Oh, the Claremore Rec Center?
Mhm. Yeah, they do. They have it every Tuesday night. Sorry, that's not really.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you should
Alright.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have
they have
huge
like,
tournaments every once in a while.
and they have like all ages, so it's like you're gonna get spiked by an old man. It's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights?
Yeah, you should pop out. It's good.
If you pay attention to like the calendar event schedule, they'll have like pickleball tournaments out there, and like it's like three and a half, all the way up to like 5.5 level pickleball players,
Okay.
which are like insane. Typically.
5.5 is like really good.
Yeah. Well, once you hit 5, you're professional.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
You're on the lower bracket of it. Though.
Yeah, I'm at like 2. I might be.
I'm a 0.5.
All right, very good. Let me tell you a couple things here. Posture's good up there, good volume. I like your hand gestures. You had a good opening quote. Very well organized. You set it up well. We knew what you were going to be talking about. You proceeded through your organization very well. Where I am with you is you're doing everything formally correct. So your encouragement at the end was good, the statement that you had. And what I'd like to see out of you a little bit more is something I've mentioned to a couple other people, maybe Laura, also Tyler, I think, to talk more than read. You look up at us and look around the room. And the way you do that is really just by practicing it a few more times where you don't have to get up there and just read this thing to us. The reason I enjoy the question parts, because I always want to hear how people talk when they're just talking. And so when you were talking back and forth with Tyler and Carolyn, you had a smile on your face, you're talking about pickleball, you're very conversational, smooth flowing, a little more variation in your voice. And so when you listen back to the recording, you want your speech part to sound similar to what your normal talking style is. Because once you go there and you're comfortable with your subject matter, you smile, you're letting yourself just express yourself, that's when you're really starting to shine. So what we want to try and do is merge some of that natural shine with this very organized, a little bit stiff presentation on your speech. Because when you get those two combined, you're going to be in really good shape. Okay? At the end, also, let's go questions first, then thank you. So we want to, give them a chance to ask, and then when it's all over, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But good job all the way around. Let's give them a hand. Way to go, Aiden. And up next, Granger on the hot seat, as they say. What's that? Yeah, you can have it if you want.
All right.
Okay.
Imagine training for months for a big competition, but the night before you only get 4 hours sleep. The next day you feel sluggish, your reaction time is slow, and your performance suffers. Now, what if I told you that consistently getting good quality sleep can give you an edge over your competition? And that doesn't just go for a track meet or a football game. That can apply to an exam, a job interview, or even just a hard day studying. Sleep is one of the most overlooked factors in success, whether in academics, business, or sport. Many people see sleep as a passive activity, when in reality, it's the time that your mind and body undergo crucial recovery processes. As an athlete myself, I've personally experienced how sleep can make or break performance. Every night I ensure I sleep properly. I have my Whoop band on 24/7. It gives me loads of insights into my sleep duration, sleep depth, sleep quality, consistency, how different behaviours affect my sleep night by night. It's almost an obsession. I study it every morning to improve from the night before and put those into practice for the next night. Research backs this up too, showing that sleep plays a vital role in physical recovery, cognitive function, and overall well-being. Today, I'll explore 3 key aspects of sleep and success: how sleep affects cognitive function, the impact of sleep on athletic performance and physical recovery, and finally, I'll give you some simple strategies to improve sleep for optimal success. So on sleep and cognitive function, sleep is essential for memory consolidation, learning, and problem solving. Studies show that people who get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep perform better on cognitive tasks than those who are sleep deprived. Sleep deprivation also impairs decision making, reaction time, and focus, which are all critical factors for athletes, students, and professionals alike. This can affect literally everything in your day-to-day, from the food you choose to eat, the route you choose to drive to school, how you talk to a colleague, even whether you forget or remember to do the dishes. Consequences of a poor night's sleep can range from anything from putting on mismatching socks in the morning to burning your house down. All because of an activity very few people actually actively put any effort into maximising. Sleep and athletic performance, which is one that's the closest to my heart. Sleep is when the body undergoes muscle repair and releases growth hormones that are key for recovery. Research on elite athletes show that increasing sleep duration improves reaction time, endurance, and overall performance. One particular study done on basketball players shows that those players who increase their sleep to 9 to 10 hours a night perform better on shooting accuracy tests and as well as sprint speed tests. Lack of sleep also increases the risk of injury, as when fatigued, athletes are more prone to mistakes and slower muscle recovery. Finally, how to improve sleep for optimal success. So this is something I spend a lot of time on. I have my Whoop, as I said. Whoop, if you're watching, sponsor me, please. And I use it to track my behaviours and my sleep patterns. So alongside the research I've done, here are some of my personal findings on key factors of improving sleep. So first and most important, as Caroline touched on, is consistent sleep schedule. So waking up and going to sleep at the same time, even on weekends, which is difficult, I know, but it's crucial. Secondly is creating a sleep-friendly environment. So dark, cool, and quiet rooms promote deep sleep. Thirdly, avoiding screens a while before bedtime, as blue light, which is what these screens produce, suppress melatonin production, which is crucial for staying asleep. Incorporating proper sleep hygiene, such as relaxing bedtime routines, limiting caffeine intake, and not eating too close to your bedtime. And finally, if you're an athlete who trains intensively, consider taking naps. Naps can boost alertness and recovery without disrupting nighttime sleep. Many of the most high-performing athletes in the world, like Michael Phelps and Cristiano Ronaldo, utilize naps throughout the day to maximize performance. So whether you're trying to perform at your best in sports, school, or work, sleep is a crucial factor that often gets overlooked. We've covered how sleep enhances cognitive function, why it's essential for athletic performance, and how to improve sleep for success. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a performance-enhancing tool. If you want to be at the top of your game, you have to prioritize rest. So tonight, instead of staying up late, scrolling on your phone, get the sleep you need to perform at your best. Any questions?
Is the Whoop waterproof?
Yes.
You wear it all the time?
It never comes off.
How much was it?
It's like a month. It's a yearly subscription. I think it's 250, 300 a year, something like that. It's top. I can't recommend it enough. I can't believe I'm not getting paid to say this. Yeah.
How long do you suggest to sleep?
Well, it depends on a number of things. I mean, that is why the Whoop is so important to me, because it tells me how much I need to sleep on a specific night based on what I've done throughout that day. So
sleep need is kind of increased by like physical activity and how much food I've eaten throughout the day. What kind of food?
Averagely, how long do you sleep or try to sleep?
8 hours a night is usually, if I can get 8 hours a night, it usually just sits, my sleep need usually sits at 8 hours. When I get less than that is when sleep debt starts to build, and then, yeah.
Does your fitness tracker keep track of your steps on a daily basis?
Yes.
How many steps are in a soccer game?
Well, I'm a goalkeeper, so for me, not that many.
Okay.
I kind of just
Now,
stand
you
there.
mentioned sponsorship a couple times. Or do you qualify for like NIL type money?
Yes. But it's kind of tricky because I'll get kicked out of the country if I make income on a student visa. So it's
interesting.
a bit. A couple of my mates are sponsored by Whoop, and I've been trying for about a year to get a sponsorship, and they just, I don't know, maybe I'm not good enough, I'm not sure.
Interesting. Okay, well, let me offer a couple comments here. First of all, just really well organized. You got good volume up there, using your hand gestures well within your torso. I thought that was good. You established your credibility really well. Good looking around strategy. You're looking around the room. Not one and I want to say that about everybody so far. We haven't had one yet today, so that makes me really happy on that. You used really good examples. You brought your personal experience in. That's always powerful to talk about your personal experience. Good use of the studies. You didn't read too much. You occasionally did, but you were talking to us. And that's more of what we want. And that's why it's good for us to all to come to class and watch everybody else so we can learn from everybody else. I thought you had really good solutions for the problem that you established, which was the problem of not getting enough sleep. Solid summary. Here's what's really interesting, and I thought of Aiden just as you were, bless you, doing your talk. Once we started asking you questions, those were the first times that you smiled in the whole talk. If you watch it back, very serious, very good, all organized and all that. But when you answered the questions, you smiled a little bit. It's like, whoa, Granger can smile. He's got teeth. All right. So one of the things, and I'm always kind of cautious about that, but smiling endears you to your audience. You don't have to do it over and over all the time or anything, but a little smile can provide that human connection. So that's one thing I would say is similar to Aiden, kind of merge that smile and tone and conversational style that you had in your answers to the questions with your very well organized presentation style, and you two are going to be in good shape. So good job all the way around. Let's give them a hand. Way to go, Granger. Well, we're moving down the list here. Let's see who is or isn't here. Now, Corey, is she gone forever? Will we ever see her again? Anybody know her? She's gone. Probably gone. She didn't like it. Couldn't handle the pressure. So just didn't like me. Maybe that's it. I don't know. We'll see. So, but I'm not going to call her name anymore.
The girl with the laptop up here that one time.
I don't remember. Let's see, Matt, you're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice.
All right. It's okay. We're week 7. We're down to the people who are going to be here. I think you can't even drop and save your money now. You got to withdraw if you want out of here.
Well, and you get a W at that point.
You can take a W. W's not bad. You just don't get any money back.
When are you going to put in some grades?
I'll give them to you when I hand back your sheet. I've got it right here.
I don't want to fail this class. So
You're not going to. As long as you come here and do your speeches, you're not going to fail.
What if I
What
go
if
into
we
my speeches but I
absolutely
flip the
do
birds?
horrible?
Look, I'll talk about grading later. I'm a holistic grader. I'll say that openly.
Are we
Oh,
gonna
that's
get
good.
Great, what is
Yeah.
that even?
Well, look it up. You got your laptop
Okay,
open.
that's right.
All right. You ready to go? We got to move on with our next speech here. Let's see. That's going to be Matt. Let's hear it, Matt. You're on.
All right. Have you ever thought about how one day can change the course of your entire week? Today, I'll be talking about the benefits of taking a Sabbath or rest day. Stress is defined as a state of mental or emotional strain or tension from demanding circumstances. According to a survey in the Journal of Psychology and Theology, 57% of Americans reported being affected by stress. But I believe we can beat this statistic by having a rest day one day out of the week. This topic is important and relevant because everyone can benefit from decompressing from the week. Rest is experienced in different ways, from taking a walk with a friend or taking a day to yourself. It's all about what makes you feel restored. I believe I'm qualified to talk about this topic because I've experienced what it's like going into a week with rest and without. Today I will cover how taking a Sabbath can lower stress levels, improve mental health, and strengthen relationships. Taking a rest day means stepping away from our routines, work or school lives, and doing something that will restore our spiritual well-being. For example, I'll take a day out of the week and go take a trail ride. This ensures that I'm stepping away from homework and my responsibilities for an hour or so. According to a Cleveland clinic, our bodies produce a hormone called cortisol that is known as the stress hormone. This hormone is responsible for many things, but some tasks include regulating stress, blood pressure, and sleep-wake cycle. By participating in hobbies and enjoying time with family, we can maintain optimal cortisol levels and reduce stress. By promoting healthy stress levels, we can improve our mental health. Mental health is important because it affects how we think, feel, and function. From Newport Christian Counseling, a small study done at Liberty University investigated how an 8-week Sabbath routine would affect mental health. Most of the participants, upon completion of this study, showed a decrease in anxiety, worry, and stress in their lives. My final point is how taking a Sabbath can strengthen relationships. The rest day allows people to step away from work and distractions, giving family and friends our full attention. For example, when my family takes a Sabbath to visit family, I can forget about my to-do list and just be present in the moment. This gives me the opportunity to listen to what is happening in other people's lives and do something we all enjoy together. I believe we can benefit from having a Sabbath day because it can lower stress levels, improve mental health, and strengthen relationships. I encourage you this week to have a rest day and see if it makes a difference for you. Any questions?
What trail do you go on?
Just like in the pasture.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing special.
Yes.
What is your typical Sabbath?
It kind of changes throughout the week, depending like what works best, how busy I am, kind of thing.
Okay, very good. Let me go back to the top here.
There's a list.
See what I want to say. Here's what I want to tell you, to be honest, Matt, is early on, I remember, although I don't have all the notes, you'll be able to look back at them. Mm-hmm. I think I may have said something to you about varying your vocal melody a little bit, and you have done that. And it sounds more varied and just sounds more conversational. I think you're also doing a really good job of balancing reading and talking. That's really hard to do if you use a lot of data and you have a lot of statistics and a lot of long sentences and so forth. But you were able to go back and forth between the text and making eye contact with us. And so I thought that that was good. It looked like you were looking around the times I looked up. I didn't get to focus on that too much. So when you watch the replay back, I think you'll see yourself looking around a little bit more. I thought your organizational statements were really solid. I liked your attention getter at the beginning. I liked the way you brought in your family and your personal statement toward the end. I liked your transitional sentences going from one subject matter to the next. I think you could move your hands around a little bit more. Let's see your hands. Okay, you do have them. I want to make sure they're pretty much stuck by your side the whole time. So go ahead and just bring one of them up and gesture a little bit. Granger over here was using I don't know if this is a technique you learned or where that came from, but if you make a fist and put a thumb out just a little bit and kind of do that, that's one way to do it. The other way is to kind of point with your knuckle a little bit like that. So you kind of like do this, and you'll see a lot of politicians and professional speakers do that. So it's one way. If you're uncomfortable with like your hands sprawling around in front of you, then go ahead and use a closed fist pointer just to make some emphasis there. I liked your closing statement that was a summary of what you said, but one thing I want us all to think about is how we can have maybe a little more memorable closing statement. Not just a summary of what you said, but something that we can sink our teeth into and remember a little bit. I'm going to bring Caitlin up here, who quoted was it Emerson?
Ralph Waldo
Yeah, Emerson. Health is wealth. So that was, now she said it really fast, and I would tell her to slow it down and let it resonate a little bit, but she did have that good closing statement. So think about that as we go forward, like what you can say at the end that really grips people as opposed to just a sentence that restates what you already said.
Okay.
And then I thought you did the same thing that both these guys did, Granger and Aiden. Once you got asked a question, you smiled, big smile. And so go ahead and throw that out there, Adam. And you don't have to, go Joker or anything like that, but, something that just connects you to the audience. Humans like smiles. So with that, I think that's it. So good job all the way around. Let's give them a hand. Let's see how we're doing. We got 10 minutes left. Who's up next? We got Veda. All right. And I think that is it. Ryan, do you go today?
Supposed to.
Okay. So we'll see if we make it through. We're pretty close. Wait, hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm good here. That was Matt. And now we're going to Veda. Okay, Veda.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Imagine walking into a room filled with intricate beadwork, hand-thrown ceramics, and vibrant paintings. Each piece tells a story of ancestors, traditions, and represents a deep connection of Native Americans to their community. Today, I will be discussing how Native American art serves as a reflection of cultural identity. This topic is important because Native American art is not just about creativity. It is a way to honor our ancestors and preserve our culture. Understanding its significance helps to appreciate the deeper meanings behind these artistic traditions. As a Native American who has been surrounded by this culture my whole life, I've always been fascinated by the stories within our traditional art forms. Now, as I seek to become more involved, I've come to appreciate how these works serve as more than just artistic expressions. They are powerful representations of who we are as people. I will be covering 3 main points today. First point being how Native American art is used as a storytelling tool. Second point being how art plays a vital role in Native and spiritual ceremonial practices, and how contemporary Native artists are keeping traditions alive while embracing new forms of art. My first point, how art is being used as a storytelling tool. Most Native American art incorporates symbolic imagery where each design element holds meaning. When art is used as a storytelling tool, it often has designs or symbolic elements that represent a story. A great example of a symbolic element being used as a storytelling tool is the water spider. The water spider pattern symbolizes the Cherokee legend of the water spider bringing fire to the people. I have a few examples of this. I don't know. Oh gosh, that's really zoomed in. There we go. This is a graphic design example of the water spider. Each year they use a different theme for Cherokee National Holiday, and this was their theme last year. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it has like a little description of it and why they used it as their theme. And then...
I'm going to help you out a little bit here.
Okay.
Zoom that in some. There you go. You can put that back on the screen for the folks at home. There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
I still don't know if they can read it, but it's okay.
Okay. Anyways, there's that, and then I have this one as well. Is an example of a traditional art form with the water spider on it. That's just a copper necklace. And then that brings me to my second point, how art is tied to spiritual and ceremonial practices. Many Native American art forms are deeply tied to spiritual and ceremonial practices. A great example of this is traditional dance attire, also known as regalia. Regalia is more than just clothing, it is sacred attire, often handmade with intricate beadwork, ribbonwork, and feathers. Typically worn at powwows or stomp dancing events, which are ceremonial practices for Native Americans. Each element of a dancer's regalia tells a story representing tribal identity, family lineage, and spiritual protection. And I have an example of that as well. That brings me to my third point, modern adaptations of Native art. While traditional art forms remain strong, many Native artists blend old and new styles to keep their culture relevant. Some local artists who incorporate traditional themes into modern work are Roy Boney. He incorporates Native storytelling into comic book illustrations, and Kendra Swafford uses watercolor and printmaking to blend heritage with contemporary art. This blend of past and present ensures that Native identity continues to thrive in a changing world. And then I also have picture examples of their work. This is,
There you go.
this is Roy Boney's comic book illustration. And then I have Kendra Swafford's watercolor. She likes to use this glitch effect in her artwork, which I think is super cool. And these are stickball materials, which is a traditional Native game. Native American art is more than just beautiful craftsmanship. It is a lifeline to our history. It reflects who we are as people and helps preserve our culture for future generations. By recognizing the significance of Native art, it can deepen the appreciation for Indigenous traditions and support the artists who continue to keep these cultural art forms alive. From storytelling through art to spiritual and ceremonial practices to modern adaptations, Native American art serves as a powerful representation of cultural identity. By embracing these Native art traditions, we keep our culture alive for future generations. Any questions? Yes.
Do you personally have any regalia or like any items?
No, I do not myself.
Is that the necklace that you made in the copper thing?
No, it's not, but it kind of looks similar.
Mm.
I haven't put a design on mine yet, but yeah.
Okay, well, very good. What I want to say is you may not feel like you're louder, but you're louder than you are now when you started. So I think you're consciously making an attempt to be a little bit louder. And so that's good, making progress there. I thought you had a good organizational setup, very well organized. Your credibility was established early on. I liked the way that you broke it down into 3 areas, and then I also liked how you brought in the visuals. And I think everybody can see how that visual element enhances what we're talking about. So when you start talking about the water spider and its significance, it's like, I wish we could see one, and then you're instantly putting one in front of the camera. So I thought that that was a really good way to go. I liked your conclusion. I thought you had a good, deep statement about the significance of art, good summary. I think you have a better looking strategy now. You're looking more at us and around the room a little bit. And I thought there was a good balance in between reading and talking. So I think that's something you can continue to work on, but you're doing well there. So overall, really solid. And I will continue to encourage you when you're by yourself in your room to speak as loud as you can and just kind of get used to projecting a little bit. Because you've expressed that idea of being an art teacher maybe someday. And if that's the case, especially if you're teaching little kids, you've got to be loud because they're loud. So that's the encouragement I have for you today, is just work at projecting a little bit more. But organization is there, solid. You smiled a few times, so that's good. So you're doing a good job all the way around. So keep on going. Let's give Veda a hand. Yay. We're going to have to wait on Ryan. You'll be first next Monday, okay? And I think, let's see, where are we now? Oh, you can see me talking back here. That's fine. So good talks today. Not one out of any one of you. How far is that away? Yay. From where we started. And I think we're about out of time here.